The OnePlus Buds 3 are the first OnePlus Buds I've got my hands on, and I know the brand. From the days when you had to get a slot to buy their then exotic phones, I knew them well enough to know they're an interesting brand with interesting products. So I came into this review with high expectations, and let's just say I wasn't disappointed. Starting off with the design, interestingly, this looked very Apple-y. Just gonna bring my Apple AirPods close so you can see what I mean. Different colors, but yeah, someone at OnePlus looked at the Apple AirPods and said, that's where I want our design language to go. Usually, I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff, and I'm tempted to dismiss this and say, yeah, they should have been original, but hey, the execution is crazy good. This look and feel very premium in hand, so much that if you told me they were made by Apple themselves, I wouldn't argue. I really love this color. I love the shiny finish. I usually say glossy, but these go past glossy. They're in your face, shiny. And the cutout for the touch panel looks great, feels great. I think these are accessory speakers for surround sound, and we'll talk about that later, but the execution, again, is such cool. This part of the board is matte to feel, and you find that on most other boards in this price range, but it's the mattest finish I've touched in a while. And I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I've genuinely haven't touched any other board with a matte finish that's this smooth. It's almost therapeutic to touch. The carry case on its pad has a very simple design. It's boxed off with a full open lid, nothing special, but again, from just holding it and opening it and closing it, you can tell that a lot of thought went into making this. I expected these to feel good in ear, given it's a rehash of the Apple AirBud form factor, and it lived up to that expectation. There's a bit of fullness when you put them on, but that's just about it. Even when you're on the move with these, I found them to sit nice and tight. Took them out for a walk in the park, and at some point I even began to run, and they remained a secure fit. Comfortability is great as well. Even though these weigh a sizable 4.9 grams, I never had the level of ear fatigue I experienced on buds like the Q2 Buds N70. There was some sort of ear fatigue, no doubt, but it was minimal at worst and to be expected for an in-ear bud. So what did these buds pack? You got high-res LDAC audio, active noise cancellation, an IP55 rating, and touch controls. So pretty much the stuff you'd expect from an earbud at this price point. Notable omission here is the fast tech and wireless charging, and that's kind of expected since these were released way back in 2024. Fast tech only very recently started making its way to the budget earbud segment on buds like the Q2 Buds N60 and the CMF lineup. Moving on to what these buds do have, LDAC audio. LDAC audio support allows for high bitrate audio transmission provided your phone is LDAC compatible itself. Most boards trying to be what the Buds 3 Plus is come with LDAC audio support, so not so much a differentiating factor. These boards are IP55 rated, which means they're immune to damage that can occur from exposure to water and dust. Just make sure you're not soaking them in a pool for like 30 minutes or so. Again, quite a common feature for buds at this price point. You get it on practically everything from CMF. Case-wise range come with a slightly lesser IP rating, IPX5, which means they are not rated to resist dust ingress or damage. Touch controls. This entire segment here is the touch-sensitive area on the Buds 3. Again, similar to what you get on the Apple Buds, it's easy to place a hand on, it's responsive, and it's accurate. Now let's talk about the active noise cancellation. ANC on the Buds 3 is a 46 dB rated system, and right now on the market you can get better. In practice, however, it was okay-ish at suppressing noise. My living room, it was able to block out noise from the TV for volume levels lower than 60%. Greater than that, an audio leaked through. Outdoors, it did a good job of suppressing background noise as long as I didn't get into overly noisy settings. It was especially good at taking out background chatter, so people talking, someone shouting, that kind of stuff. Just me taking a walk in the park, and at this point, I was pretty much isolated from whatever noise was coming off around me. Overall, decent ANC performance in my experience, although you'll be better for choice with boards like the CMF Buds Pro 2, the Q2 Buds Pro, or the N70. if ANC is your major concern. The Buds 3 are great sounding buds, all things considered. This thing has a very balanced sound profile with enough bars, mids, and trebles to make for a very feeling music listening experience. Details on the bars was great, so this pump out mid bars in enough volume for enough punchiness and oomph, rivaling buds like the Mellow Buds N60. Details on the mids and trebles are great as well. The buds had no issue delivering the myriad mixed instrumentals and ad-libs for my favorite songs. Coming off reviewing the Soundpiece C30, which was got them awful like this, it was refreshing to experience. Something peculiar about these buds is the way they manage to deliver a music experience that sounds a bit open, similar to what you get from open earbuds like the Soundcore Aeroclip. So the music doesn't directly pump into your ear for some reason. Instead, it feels like it's coming from in and around your ear. I guess that's down to how tight the bass is, especially the sub bass, and also the very accurate treble delivery from the accessory speakers. Pair that open air feel to the superb clarity on these buds, and what's for me an immersive soundstage with decent bordering on great surround sound, and what you get is a truly refreshing and exciting music listening experience. Sound performance on calls is great as well. The mic on these are decent. They manage to pick up voices with good enough clarity, and that's true even in noisy environments.
Now I've got the OnePlus Buds 3 and I'm outdoors to do a quick mic test. So mic check 1 2 1 2 4 5 6 A B C D E F G H whatever however. Today there's a bit of wind going on and about, lots of birds chirping in the background, and some random animal noises. That's all we've got to make do for background noise today. So tell me, how does my voice sound out of the mic of the Boss 3 Plus? I reckon it will be good. These buds were decent in pretty much every other thing. So I'm expecting them to nail the mic test as well. But I'll let you guys be the judge of it. How did this sound?
You get the typical budget earbud app, only this time it has a weird name, Hey Melody, which made finding it on the App Store for me very difficult. Anyway, on the app, you get settings for noise cancellation and EQ, a tab for customizing touch inputs, a toggle for dual device connection, LDAC audio, the whole works. The app itself is simple and intuitive to use, and surprisingly, is the first budget TWS earbud app I've used that doesn't try to farm your email. That's really good. Just open the app, connect your device, and use. There's a custom OnePlus 3D audio setting that further amplifies the surround sound experience for more depth in surround. It worked, although I did notice a slight drop in sound clarity with it on. There's also a tab to customize the audio experience to be specific to your ears. I tried to do it, and honestly, I couldn't tell any difference between the audio performance before and after the calibration. As far as battery life goes, battery life on the Buds 3 is great for a board at this price point. I easily got up to 6 hours of active playtime with ANC on. On standby, they usually went north of 72 hours. Very good numbers. Very few buds match them on the market at this price point. No wireless charging though, like I said earlier. So to sum it up, what's good? Great design, great audio quality, great battery life, very comfortable to use. What's bad? Frankly, nothing in particular. I could say the ANC on this is a little bit subpar, but overall it works and it's probably good enough for a board at this price point. So, should you buy the Buds 3? There are newer buds on the market right now with more features and better technology. The Mellow Buds N70, for instance, ships with better noise cancelling tech, Bluetooth 6.0 wireless charging, and QC-wise unrivaled sound performance. So I'm tempted to say ignore this and just go for that. But these are great sounding boards with an immaculate build quality. If you need something with great audio performance and a soundstage that's atypical in the sense that it sounds more open and that's refreshing in many cases, then these are your buds. They are built solidly, they will last a lifetime, and even though they were made in 2024, they still hold a bright candle to many of the buds made in 2026.